What's going on, everybody? You found Bottom Tier Collector, and I'm your host, BTC, bringing you a top tier comic book run from a bottom tier collector. First things first, this is a collected run series that I do every time I complete a run in real time. So I'm not talking about every single run I've ever completed in this series. This is just more of a real time, hey, I completed it this week or this month. Let's show these books off. It's something I like to do in large part because I want to see the community doing these videos. You know, oftentimes I come across videos where guys talk about completing comic book runs, and I understand the mental tax of opening up these boxes and pulling out these comic books and displaying them for a video. I understand because I do it. I did a 189 issue run for this series. I completed it. Wolverine Volume 2, so I get it. But at the same time, I'd like to see more people do this. I want to see your runs as you complete them. So that's a large part of why I do it. I also just like to show off my books. It's not to brag, it's not to flex. The run I'm showing off today, there's no big keys in this run except for this issue. And maybe a variant of #1 is worth the most in this run, but I'd guarantee you there ain't one book worth over $25, $50 in this run, and I don't ever see any issues in this run going up in value for any speculative reason. It would just have to be for the art, or the story would be why any of these books would ever go up in value. So this is, you know, a collector's run, you know, a low-key Wolverine Volume 4. There's not necessarily anything historical going on with this run, and there's, you know, no major arts, but, you know, it's just a nice, cool run. It gets me, you know, to that goal. I'm right at the finish line of completing all 7. It used to be 6. When I first initially set this goal of I wanted every single Wolverine solo ongoing run in my PC, there was only 5 volumes. I came into the hobby right around the time of Marvel Now, so Wolverine Volume 5 was on shelves when I initiated this goal and started attempting that goal, and that was during the era that it quickly slid into Volume 6 for no reason at all, and then now we have, years later, Volume 7. So, you know, I'm that much closer to having all 7 volumes in my PC, but I'm right here at the finish line of having the original iteration of that goal, and I don't want to take too much more of your time, but I would like to explain a little bit what's going on with the numerals in this run. So the first 20 issues are officially Volume 4. There's also an annual, and I'm going to include the annual in Volume 4, even though it releases during the numbering where we go back to Volume 2 numbering, and that's what I want to segue into. After issue 20, this volume goes to issue 300, which goes back to the original legacy numbering of Volume 2, which started in 1988 with Chris Claremont. I think John Buscema did the art on issue 1, and then Joe Rubinstein, I believe, did the inks on issue 1 as well. Fantastic volume. I'm trying to revive that series where we do a deep dive through each issue of Wolverine Volume 2, at least the first 20 issues. And so, yeah, that's where issue 300 comes from. It's not me skipping numbers. The run is not that big. It's like 30 issues, maybe. I don't even think it's 30 issues. So 300 through 317 continues that Volume 2 legacy numbering, because Volume 3 is almost 100 issues. Volume 2 is 189 issues, and then you have the 20 issues leading up to 300. And I guess it all comes out to this is the 300th consecutive issue of Wolverine or whatever. So that's kind of explains the numbering. I don't know the canon. I don't know if the canon changes and we go back to the original continuity from Volume 2 and pick up where Volume 2 leaves off, or if we're continuing Volume 4. I don't know, but CLZ and everybody in the comic book world can consider every single issue that came out in this time period part of Volume 4, so that's why it's in there. I have the annual, and then to complete the run, I have issue 1000. I am displaying these comic books in release order, so it's going to appear like the annuals a little late in the run, which it was, and then it's going to appear like issue 1000 is really random in the run, which it is. I'm guessing issue 1000 is just to mark the 1000th appearance of Wolverine, but it was marked as a volume 4 issue in CLZ, so until I picked up 1000, which I did at Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo a couple weeks ago, I was not going to make this video. So that's where issue 1000 comes in, and that ties up all the numbering and explains all of that. Let's just get right into it, guys. Alright guys, so hope you enjoyed me showing off my books. It was a pleasure doing this hunt. It was a great way to get, I don't want to say a quick win. This took me several years to run down this hunt, but when you're running down volume 2, volume 3, volume 4, and volume 7 of Wolverine all at the same time, I mean, there's not really any quick wins, but this was a quicker win for me, a way to make me feel like, hey, you're almost there at the finish line. You're going to complete your goal of having every Wolverine solo ongoing series in your collection. I think the first 16 or so issues are just some of the greatest, how can I say it? It's the greatest run of art I've ever seen. I've never seen a series or run that has, now Justice League International comes close, Kevin Maguire's work and all that, but I just think 1 through 16, the Jay Lee covers, you know, I'm not huge on buying comic books for the art, but this would be, those first 16 issues would be something, you know, if I was a casual fan of Wolverine, I would deeply consider buying those first 16 issues just for the covers. I just think they're fantastic. I know Bub is one of these people in the community that doesn't really care for Jay Lee, and that's fine. That's Bub's opinion. I'm not here to defend Jay Lee, but I do find these covers by Jay Lee to be fantastic, and I think it's okay that other people don't like Jay Lee. I'd also like to mention that we are one issue away from completing volume 3. I just need issue 900, and I hope to complete that run very, very soon. I am also like 3 to 4 issues away from completing Demon Volume 1, the Jack Kirby original run of Demon from DC Comics. So that video is coming down the pipeline in the future, and then I'm 6 to 8 issues away from completing Demon Volume 3, and that is like a 58 issue run, 60 issues including the 2 annuals. So that'll be coming down the pipeline, I hope, this year. Those are 2 runs I put on my wish list, 2 runs I hope to complete, or 3 runs I hope to complete this year. Definitely the next one on my list is to complete Wolverine Volume 3, and we can have that celebration video. And then for shits and giggles, I might just run through Wolverine Volume 1, Wolverine Volume 5, and Wolverine Volume 6 just to have every volume in a playlist for people to look at. So you know what to hunt and what to look for if you like cover A kind of thing. I don't really do a lot of variants, but yeah, again, that's my video. Don't want to do too much house cleaning. I know it's been a while since I've released a video, but that's another video for another time. I just want to leave this video about Wolverine Volume 4. And until next time, guys.